The race is on to stop the Ebola virus brought to Texas. Tonight we share the CDC's plans.
And the man infected with the disease will be prosecuted when he returns to Liberia. Find out why coming up.
And cooler air is on the way. I'll tell you how low temperatures will go for tomorrow morning in my first Fox full weather.
In high definition, this is KIDY Fox News, first at 6 o'clock.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Molly Garrity.
And I'm Rick Tomlin. The race is on to contain the Ebola virus brought to this country by a Liberian man.
He's now in serious condition at a Dallas hospital, and everyone he's come into contact with could be at risk. Polo Sandoval is in Dallas with the latest.
Stay home until October 19th. That's the Texas government's order to 4 close members of Thomas Eric Duncan's family. They may have been exposed to the Ebola virus after Duncan became the first person to develop symptoms in the U.S. The Liberian man flew to Dallas, stopping in Brussels and Washington's Dulles Airport. Duncan may have had contact with 100 people. He's confirmed to have had contact with about 12 of them.
Can't get my baby just in case. I don't know what's going on, but make sure we safe.
I don't think I'm going to bring him until, I go to the doctor, check him, and then see if he's okay.
The CDC now giving out information cards to everyone arriving from West Africa, the epicenter of the outbreak. They're hoping to stem the spread of the virus.
This is very likely to happen again, so we have to be prepared to react here, and we have to be working to contain this in West Africa. That's the only way of stopping it happening.
When Duncan began feeling sick, the hospital in Dallas didn't isolate or even admit him, even though he told them he had just traveled from Africa. The hospital admits this information was not fully communicated to the full medical team. He was sent home with antibiotics, only to return to the hospital when his conditions worsened.
This was just a simple, faulties of human nature. It was a mistake. They dropped the ball.
And as you heard, criticism still mounting here in the Dallas area about the handling of this case. In the meantime, we do know that health officials will be reaching out to an estimated 100 people, asking them if they've had either direct or indirect contact with Thomas Duncan, the man at the center of this story. We do understand his condition still listed as serious. It is an improvement, though, from what we saw yesterday morning. Reporting in Dallas, Texas, I'm Polo Sandoval.
Authorities say Duncan will be prosecuted when he gets back to Liberia for lying on his airport screening questionnaire. Passengers leaving Liberia are being screened for fever and asked if they had any contact with anyone that's been infected. Duncan said no to questions about whether he'd cared for an Ebola patient, but neighbors say he helped a pregnant woman who later died of the disease.
Another possible Ebola case is being monitored in Hawaii. Health officials say a patient is in isolation at a Honolulu hospital with Ebola-like symptoms, but officials say that the patient has not yet been tested for the virus. The patient could have a number of other illnesses, including the flu, malaria, and typhoid.
When we've asked the hospitals to tell us about is anyone with a travel history and anyone with a fever, and when those two come together, we've asked them to be very careful and in an abundance of caution while you're working them up for whatever else might be going on. Also make sure you isolate against Ebola just in case that is the case.
The hospital has assured its staff that procedures are in place to protect them while the patient is being monitored.
Well, if you're looking for fall, you're going to get a taste of it tomorrow morning. We're in for a cool down. Barrett's tracking the latest in the forecast center.
Yes, we are going to cool down pretty substantially for tomorrow. We're going to wake up to temperatures in the lower 50s. It's going to be cool when you wake up to go to work tomorrow, sunny conditions. 53 degrees will be the temperature, so definitely take the light jacket with you for the morning hours. Then 75 degrees by noon and just a low 80s for tomorrow afternoon and the evening hours. Pretty mild for a high temperature for tomorrow. Now we're going to send things over back to Rick and Molly.
All right, thanks, Barrett. Traffic was backed up for over an hour this afternoon because of some debris on Houston Hart. A portion of the loop from Main Street to Jefferson was closed while crews swept up glass. Officials were concerned that much glass could damage vehicles. No word yet on where it came from. Angelo State University held a training seminar for their hearing panel this evening regarding sexual misconduct. Reporter Kendra McNamara attended this meeting and has these details.
The Association of Title IX Compliance is a national organization designed to train the judicial hearing boards of universities for sexual misconduct.
It's really important to have a well-trained hearing board that know how to ask the right kind of questions, know how to evaluate information in order to ensure that we're not only protecting the rights of the person that was accused of the behavior, but also respecting and protecting the rights of the individual that is bringing forth a complaint.
Sandra Schuster has taught in higher education for her entire career and has practiced law for 20 years. In her time, she's noticed that schools tend to view student misconduct exclusively as a student matter, but it isn't.
Schools have to recognize we have an absolute obligation, both morally, ethically, as well as legally, to respond.
And there are two concerns that motivate her to do her job.
Ensuring that schools are doing the right things. But the second piece is that they're doing the right things for the right reasons. And the right reasons are to make a safe learning environment for our students.
And with that, Angelo State University is ready to apply her knowledge.
We want our individuals to be trained so that due process and fairness is given to all of our students.
I'm Kendra McNamara with KIDY, Fox News First.
Angelo State has different misconduct training for both students and faculty throughout the year.
Coming up after the break, a Texas girl was kidnapped 12 years ago, but she was found yesterday. We'll tell you where.
And dramatic new developments in the case of a missing Virginia student. Could authorities have a serial killer on their hands? We'll let you know.
Live from downtown San Angelo, this is KIDY Fox News First with Rick Tomlin, Molly Garrity, Chief Meteorologist Barrett Phillips, and Sports Director Manny Diaz.
Welcome back. A Texas girl who was kidnapped a dozen years ago was found yesterday.
After 12 years of searching for missing Austin girl Sabrina Allen, authorities found the missing girl in a town southeast of Mexico City. Allen was found with her mother, who doesn't have custody of her. Her father says that she's in bad shape and in treatment. According to officials, the girl was not living a regular life and was not going to school. She was told her father committed suicide. The mother is now in a Travis County jail on aggravated kidnapping charges.
The suspect in the disappearance of University of Virginia student Hannah Graham has been linked to another sexual assault investigation. Matthew was accused of raping a student at Liberty University 12 years ago, but was never charged. Last week, we learned DNA evidence links him to two other cases involving college-age women.
A New York man accused of recruiting a terrorist for the ISIS won't be back in court until January. That's because lawyers and investigators need more time to sift through and translate thousands of documents. Federal prosecutors say that the first box of evidence alone included 90 audio discs that are in Arabic and need to be translated. They're also combing through as many as 23 Facebook pages associated with the man. Authorities have hours of surveillance camera footage and thousands of pages of evidence to go through. The U.S. attorney says that this is the first case anywhere that accuses one person of recruiting for ISIS. If convicted, he faces 10 years to life in prison.
$87,300 were raised today for the roundup for rehab. See, items like a handmade knife and portable safe were just a few of the items auctioned off, and 16 animals donated from local ranchers were also sold. All the profits went to the West Texas Rehab Center, and Bob Helmers has been a part of the event for many years. He told us why it's his favorite event.
It's the oldest fundraiser for the West Texas Rehab. It's just seeing the generosity of the people of West Texas and how they support the rehab.
And this was the 55th year for the roundup.
As you said earlier, it was kind of nice today, a little warm, but there's a change coming, and Barrett's here to tell us about it.
Yes, the changes are already here. The cold front passed through the San Angelo area at around the 3 o'clock hour, so it's going to allow for some cooler conditions. Also, we will be warming up once again. I'll let you know when coming up on your Fox News First full weather.
Now, from the KIDY Fox News First Weather Center, Chief Meteorologist Barrett Phillips.
Well, we had a cold front come through at around 3 o'clock this afternoon. Our temperatures have slowly been dropping off ever since then. Looking to the west from our KIDY exclusive weather camera, you can see nothing but clear skies out there. And that's what we're going to be experiencing tonight, is just more of these clear conditions. And if you look really hard, you can see the weather camera shake and move around a bit due to some breezy conditions that we have out there. Here is the current radar picture, how it looks right now. All the storms formed just east of a viewing area and just to the southeast of Brady. You can see one lone cell down there. As each model room is passing by for the past couple of days. It just kept on pushing that line of storms eastward, and that's exactly where they formed today. It was just east over a viewing area. And you may notice this little boundary here, this green that the radar's picking up here. That's actually the cold front itself as it continues to push to the southeast here. We'll loop that so you can see that continue to push to the southeast, and that's a cold front, and those storms are firing just ahead of that cold front. But our high today reached 96 degrees before that cold front came through at 3 o'clock, and now we're in the upper 80s. Our low was 75 degrees, well above our average high, and our record high is actually 100 degrees, the century mark. Our grass is moderate, trees and weeds are high, and that was updated today. And like I said, we are in the 80s. We've dropped from 96 to 89 degrees, mostly sunny to sunny conditions out there. And like I said, this is very dry air coming through into our region. Relative humidity is at only 23%, northwest wind at 15 miles per hour. And we are in the lower to mid 80s just to northwest of San Angelo, 81 Sterling City, 84 in Robert Lee, still in the 90s though for Sonora, and 93 will be the warm spot in Junction as the cold front has not quite reached through the Junction area. You can see the winds for most of us coming up from the northwest, and they are breezy out there, anywhere between 15 to 20 miles per hour. Out the northwest at 18 in Menard, and Junction still have a southwest wind at 6 because, like I said, the cold front has not quite reached their area yet. Our satellite and radar loop, you can see those thunderstorms developing just to the east of our viewing area. It was a close call for people like Brady that are in Brady and Junction, but you just barely missed out on the rainfall. And Supermax Futurecast, not a cloud in the sky for tonight. It's going to be pretty clear out there. It will be cool though, so don't let those clear conditions fool you. It will be a little uncomfortable out there for tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, once again, it's showing not a cloud in the sky, so sunny conditions for tomorrow and then clear conditions for tomorrow night. For tonight, we're going to see temperatures in the low to mid 50s, 54 in Paint Rock, 52 in Sonora, the same in Ozona, 52 in Merchant as well. And it's going to be cool. Our average temperatures in the upper 50s this time of year, and especially for what we have been experiencing for the past couple mornings in the 70s. 53 degrees will feel pretty chilly out there. 84 degrees for tomorrow, mostly sunny conditions, and it will be mild because our average temperature is 83 for this time of year. And it'll be a little warmer towards I-10 for 84 in Ozona, 87 in Junction, the same in Menard. Mostly sunny conditions for tomorrow. And then for Saturday and Sunday, the weekend, looking like a nice weekend. If you like temperatures a little cooler, maybe Saturday would be your pick, but if you like that warm feeling on your skin, maybe Sunday would be your pick. It just depends. But look at this on Saturday morning, 51 degrees, so definitely bundled up on Saturday morning if you need to. And then back up into the 90s by the middle of next week.
Yeah, so some cool mornings for the weekend. That's going to be something different around here.
Yes, it will be different, and me being a meteorologist, I'm kind of looking up for.
Yeah.
I think I'll get up early Saturday morning just to go out there and
see
take
what
a
it
feel
feels
of
like.
it.
Sounds good. Well, coming up after the break, Manny's talking ASU Rams football and sports.
I tell you, they're probably looking at facing one of their toughest opponents all of last season. Nothing against West Texas A&M, but we're breaking down this one. Plus, the Walt Hawks, they're looking to make a few fine tweaks as they take on early on Friday night. We'll tell you that much more coming up after the break.
Now with your local sports, KIDY Fox News First Sports with Manny Diaz.
Well, from quarterback Kyle Washington to linebacker Rush Seaver, there's no doubt that Angelo State has the talent, the star power to hang with anyone in the Lone Star Conference. The question at hand is, can they put it together for 4 quarters? The Rams take on a Midwestern State team this weekend who's coming off a big 27-23 win over Tarleton State. It's first since 2000, not to mention having pulled off 3 consecutive comeback wins. The need to finish is every week, but more so against the 16th-ranked Mustangs.
No, it's the same thing, same preparation. We're just out here trying to work hard and finish. That's the main thing, is finishing.
Probably expecting a little bit of double teaming the outside receivers after last game's performance. We had a lot of fade balls. Hopefully we'll be able to match up right and do our jobs the correct way and get a win.
It's Angelo State and MSU on Saturday night in Wichita Falls. Well, outside of Class 6A Lubbock Coronado, tomorrow night's matchup against Lubbock Estacado could be the Chiefs' toughest test this non-district season. Team speed is what the Matadors are bringing to the table, led by quarterback Jalen Thompson, meaning the Chiefs will have to make the most of every possession.
We're going to bring a lot of speed to the game because the last 2 games we've worked on more just slow playing That way we can make sure they do what we want them to do, but now they're going to be so fast that we're going to have to just go and hit them right now and then make sure that we're in the right spot, because if we're not in the right spot, they'll exploit that.
The Chiefs looking to make it 3 in a row tomorrow night against Lubbock Estacado.
The Wallhawk Report, brought to you by Oasis Crop Insurance.
Well, although the Wallhawks are having success when it comes to the win column, they haven't put together a complete game without multiple breakdowns on both sides of the ball, something the Hawks are keying in on this week against Early. Danny Rondeau has the story.
The Hawks are winning games, but not in true Wall form, like in last week's victory over Clyde, where the field was littered with small mental mistakes.
It wasn't impressive. It was a game of mistakes, both sides of the ball. We had lots of turnovers offensively. I think we had about 6 or 7 fumbles.
I feel as an offense, we haven't really had a team on defense that's really stopped us. We kind of stopped ourselves. I think, if Bryce and Chris and all them, they put their mind to it, they can hold that ball.
For Wall to sit atop the district standings, their mental game will need to be in top form, and that all begins this week against Early.
They have a real good defensive player, Landon Beck. He's a real big kid, real strong. They got a quarterback. He's real good at kind of improvising. They're physical. They're going to come show that they can hang with us, that they can beat us, that they're something.
I tell our kids all the time, they're going to show up to play Wall. Everybody would like to beat Wall, and so we're going to get everybody's best effort.
Friday's game will be decided at the line of scrimmage, and whoever can reset and win the line will have a strong chance of winning the game. I'm Danny Rondeau with KIDY Fox News First.
Well, the Lakeview Maidens have had a rocky start this season, only having won 2 matches. But according to junior libero Chloe Tarango, this team has managed to come together over the season as one, and because of that, the season isn't over until they say it is.
Coach said she has watched the film and that they're really fast, and we just have to be a lot faster. We've been working hard past week or so to build up our strength and our speed, and just to play smart and practice going really hard, and we've been doing really good.
The Maidens will take on Abilene Cooper tomorrow afternoon up in the Big Country. So
good luck to them. Looking forward to it.
Football Friday tomorrow.
West Texas scoreboard. Can't miss it. Don't want to miss it. 10:30.
Well, stay with us. We'll be right back with a last look at your weather. And normally when you think of firefighters, you think of the color red. But not this firefighting team in Ohio. We'll explain next.
Normally when you think of firefighters, you think of red and yellow, but not this time. This fire department in Ohio is using the color pink to help the fight against breast cancer. If you give a donation, you get to sign the Pink Mobile, and it also means you're helping breast cancer survivors and their families. All the donations go to the Pink Ribbon Girls, which is a nonprofit in the area that helps breast cancer patients and their families who might need help with transportation. Pretty cool there, and they're not alone in the raising awareness thing. We're helping out today too. If you maybe notice, we're all wearing our pink ribbons today. October is of course Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so we're showing our support.
Yeah, not bad. That's good. Digging the ribbons today.
Yeah, a little extra flair. I like it.
What's weather going to look like, Barrett?
Well, it's going to be pretty chilly in the morning, so take the coat with you on Saturday morning. If you think 53 degrees is pretty cool, clear conditions, north-northeast wind up to 5 miles per hour. And for tomorrow, warming things up in the mid-70s by noon, lower 80s by the evening hours. Mostly sunny conditions all day tomorrow. We will have a high of 84 degrees. That's pretty mild. Even though we're having a cold front come through, it's really just dropping our high temperatures back down to where we should be for this time of year. And 51 degrees on Saturday morning, 82 for Saturday. Still a pretty beautiful weekend ahead of us. Partly cloudy conditions on Monday, getting hot again in the middle of the week with a 20% chance of isolated showers and storms next Thursday.
And good news for everyone heading out to games. Looks like it's going to be clear weather.
Yes, first time in 3 weeks.
It's been a while. Yeah.
Better knock on wood, or else the storm's going to just pop up tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, that's it for now. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here at 9:30.
Hairstyles provided by Inspiro Salon.